today I'll talk about a topic which is very close to my heart, and that topic is emotional hygiene. Or if I were to put it in a better way, it's emotional well-being. Another word, emotional intelligence, right? So before I talk about emotional hygiene, let me talk to you about a drainage system, and I'll tell you why I'm talking about a drainage system. Now, if you see the drainage system, what is the purpose of a drainage system in our house? A drainage system takes away all the used water away from our house, all the rubbish goes away from the drainage system. And if the drainage system is blocked, or if a drainage system is choked, then what happens? Then all that rubbish or all that dirty water does not go out of our house, but it remains in our house. And why I'm using the analogy of a drainage system is because our emotional system is very much like a drainage system. It's like, almost imagine that in our psyche we have these emotional pipes, and emotions are running through these emotional drainage system in our psyche. So what happens is, during the day we are experiencing a variety of emotions, whether it is positive emotions, whether it's negative emotions. Someone says something which is encouraging, we feel good. Someone says something which is sarcastic, which is hurtful, we feel bad, we feel overwhelmed, we feel isolated, we feel lonely, we feel angry. So many feelings we go through. Now, the difficulty is in dealing with the negative emotions, not so much the positive emotions. Now, ideally speaking, if we were very aware as individuals, what we would do is, and how we would process these negative emotions is, we would do primarily three things. First, we would notice that we are feeling, which means if I'm feeling angry, I'm aware that I'm angry. If I'm feeling hurt, I'm aware I'm hurt. If I'm feeling lonely, if I'm feeling sad, I'm aware of these feelings, I'm noticing. Second is, I would experience these feelings. Now, what do I mean by experience these feelings? Which means whatever's happening in my system, I may be feeling butterflies in my stomach, I may be feeling my throat is choked, my mouth is dry, I'm feeling hollowness. All of this I will truly experience if I was aware, and I would find a way to express this emotion. Now, expression does not necessarily mean that you talk about it to somebody. You can express it in a variety of ways. You can write, you can sing out your emotions, you can dance away your emotions, you can go for a run, but you would find a way to release these emotions from your system. Now, what happens, practically speaking, is that we are so busy throughout the day, we are running helter-skelter, we don't even have time to breathe, forget about even experiencing our emotions. And as a result of which, what happens, our emotional system gets blocked, it gets choked. So all these emotions that we have not processed completely and released from our system remain in our system. And what happens, 80% of our illnesses are now psychosomatic, it has been proved. Which means all these illnesses that we are experiencing are nothing but emotions which were not dealt with correctly. And quite often sometimes we just suppress the emotion, sometimes we just swallow the emotion, and then suddenly one fine day there's a volcanic blast. And I have had these experiences in the past where I would not express my emotions freely because I don't want to hurt somebody else, I don't want to risk a relationship, so choke, keep, and one fine day a volcanic eruption. So what do I do now? Especially most of us are emotional beings. We are, of course, human beings, means that we have emotions. So how do we process these emotions? So I have found a very effective technique to deal with my emotions and practice emotional hygiene on a daily basis, and that is journaling. Now, what do I mean by journaling? Journaling is a method of writing about your day at the end of the day. Which means, okay, you could say perhaps it's writing in a diary. Yes, okay, it's writing in a diary. You can even write on a laptop, you can even write on your mobile, but it's essentially, so imagine that if you were talking to your best friend at the end of the day about what happened to you during the day, what would you tell that person? Where you're not going to be judged by that person. He's completely listening to you. So you just write whatever comes to you. You can start from the beginning of the day, then what happened, what you felt during the day, what conversations you had. Were you feeling overwhelmed? Were you feeling vulnerable? Did you have good moments? Were there moments that you had to be grateful for, you were positive about? Just write whatever comes to you at the end of the day. It's almost like before you shut down your computer, you close all your files. So this is similarly, before you go to bed, before you go to sleep, you must shut down all your mental, emotional files so you can sleep well. Now writing can be done, you can become a little creative. Now you can write it in the form of, make it personal. You can write it as a letter to somebody. Now you can write it as a letter to God, your maybe favorite God. You can write a letter to your higher self. You can write a letter to some ancestor that you have. Anything, any person that you feel close to, you can write a letter. So I have been doing journaling for many years now. Every day before I go to bed. This is my current journal. I've got many journals by now, and as you can see, they are filled with things that I've written and circled and all kinds of things. And I have seen that journaling not only helps me to purge my emotions, cleanse my system at the end of the day, but it also brings so much clarity of thoughts, because I know what's happening in my mind. Otherwise our mind is like noodles, it's all entangled, we don't even know what's happening out there. So I would encourage you to, if you want to practice emotional hygiene and well-being, then journaling is a very powerful tool and technique which is available, and very simple and effective as well. And if you're concerned about privacy, you can always have a password. You can destroy your journals after some time. You see, whatever works for you. But it's important to express your thoughts and feelings at the end of the day, so that you can sleep well and your system is clean of any kind of emotional debris, emotional backlog of the past, and that will ensure that our energy is spontaneous and flowing all the time. So that's it for now. Namaste. Thank you.